I'm going to suggest that there are two domains of the matrix, as I see it, and most contemporary references to it typically only consider first. So, after very briefly mentioning the first domain, I'm going to go more deeply into the second, the other matrix. The matrix, domain 1. Welcome to the machine. The first domain of the matrix is the man-made system driven by capitalism, politics, and technology, and increasingly by artificial intelligence. Web 2.0 is an internet structure powered by big tech and advertising revenue, with numerous powerful entities vying for dominance. Unlike the Matrix movie, I don't believe there's a singular controlling entity like Mr. Smith. Various players, including big tech, governments, secret services, billionaires, and private groups, manipulate us all covertly, typically presenting themselves as the good guys and while demonizing others. This complex system emerges from the monetization and politicization of everything, with multiple actors striving for power and influence. In popular culture, when we talk about the Matrix, they mostly discuss Domain 1. But I'm just going to leave Domain 1 of the Matrix as fuzzy as that and move on to Domain 2, which is where the real fun begins. The Matrix, Domain 2, the nice bits. Beyond the world of money and machines, Domain 1 of the Matrix, there's a much more ancient matrix, one that has been in place for countless millennia. Remember, the Wachowski brothers released the movie in 1999 when the internet was in its infancy and where there was no such thing as mobile technology. So we know the movie was not about the World Wide Web. No, the story of Neo in the Matrix movie is essentially a spiritual and religious allegory, mirroring journeys like that of Jesus Christ or the Buddha, a journey from ignorance to truth, from unconsciousness to enlightenment. When Neo sees the code through his own eyes at the climax of the movie, he is like the Buddha awakening under the banyan tree, or like Jesus after his 40 days in the desert. The red pill, blue pill test is a little like Satan tempting Jesus. In one of those temptations, Satan offers Jesus all the kingdoms of the world, if only Jesus will worship the devil. And as we all know, Jesus turned down Satan's rather generous offer. In a sense, the blue pill is like that. Morpheus tells Neo that if he chooses the blue pill, then this is where the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. So it's not quite all the world's kingdoms that Neo is being offered, just the blissful ignorance of unconsciousness, of delusion. On the other hand, Morpheus declares that swallowing the red pill will enable Neo to stay in Wonderland, and where Morpheus will show Neo how deep the rabbit hole goes. This is clearly a pivotal moment in the movie where Neo has to decide if he really wants to know the truth, to face the terrible reality of what he has become, a slave who's given his power away to the machines, or to continue to live in a constructed illusion. Because if Neo is going to choose the truth, the comfortable illusion that he believes in, his world, is going to come crashing down. So what I refer to as Domain 2 of the Matrix analogy mirrors the spiritual drama and symbolism in the movie, an archetypal tale that far precedes the digital age, or Andrew Tate's Dancing Girls. This never-ending story has had little to do with technology for almost the entirety of its dramatic existence. For beyond the domain of money and machines, there's a great consciousness structure full of wisdom and darkness that we can all tap into. This consciousness structure lies both within and beyond you, and within and beyond the world, and I maintain that by developing your capacity for integrated intelligence, you can learn to tap into it. Another way of saying this is that you can develop a conscious relationship with consciousness itself. Therefore, the difference between Domain 1 and Domain 2 of the Matrix, as I frame it, is that the latter is not deliberately created by people, but is part of an invisible web of consciousness that has evolved over perhaps hundreds of thousands of years, out of the intimate relationship between humanity, nature, and cosmos. And this is an idea that is common to most spiritual and awakening traditions. I maintain that all of space, time, and consciousness itself have non-local properties, and there are conceptions within current science and physics which provide theoretical if not quite empirical, support for this claim. See my last video, for example. I believe that the future whispers to us, calling us via its unfolding wisdom in a kind of subtle relationship with the present and with our species. So we have the potential to align with that integrated intelligence in each moment, each hour, and each day. And that subtle consciousness does reach out to us if only we stop a moment to listen and to be present with it. Various thinkers have proposed ideas related to this, including Pierre Teilhard de Chardin's noosphere, Carl Jung's collective consciousness, and psychiatrist Stanislav Grof's belief that the human collective mind shapes our evolution. It also echoes the Chinese understanding of the Tao, which translates to English as the way. We humans are invited to honor this subtle calling, and to do that we must learn not to push forward too aggressively or blindly into the future, for we must first listen. And that requires a wisdom journey, a spiritual journey, and ultimately a healing journey. But this power, this wisdom, is subtle. It's fuzzy and often speaks to us via feelings, dreams, and inspirations. And so for the modern mind, like yours and mine, that has been conditioned to exist in a state of agitated dissociation from the body and its intuitive faculties, there is a requirement for unlearning and then relearning. And that relearning is the essence of the spiritual journey. Thus, the Tao doesn't just tell you what to do. It's part of a greater creativity and wisdom that pulls us forward into the myriad possible futures.